Happy's leading there. It's actually pretty cool. But I'd have to think about it. I never really sat down and said who I know you like TQM, don't you?
TQM is up there for me for sure. I like Liquid as of late.
I like Liquid as well. I think they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. But you know what time it is.
It's game time.
Game time. Analyze the buy for me, Henry.
We've got Penta starting on the T side, 3 sets of armor, 2 utility players. That's going to be Crystal and Mike S. So far, they haven't really gained too much map control. You can see the boost coming in from short onto CTs, and there it is. Engine picks up the first frag, and that's all he required as he takes down Tarsin. And that's going to be devastating for the T. They haven't really gained anything else from this. They have headshot Xanteras, though, so still something to work with here. But now you can see the CTs falling back a little bit, and a much more passive setup. What can they do with these smoke grenades and flashbangs? There you go, Matt.
Thank you very much. Well,
analysis and more.
Tossin dead already. Xanteras low on HP. Those two just is going to wait on top of this platform, and as we see, there's going to be 3 approaching from the long area. That first flash forces Tugux to have to calculate his angle, but watch for the second one to pop out. They're waiting for it. Xanteras is going to stay alive on the fact that there was a smoke in the way. He eventually does go down. I take that back. There was no smoke. It was peculiar that he stood there that long. I thought surely there had to be something that allowed for that to happen. But Space Soldiers have made up for it. His engine's got one and only with the other, but the bomb going down early already, regardless of whether or not this is going to be a win for the terrorists or not, means that we could see a 3rd round buy coming out from the T side based on that money bonus, but only has made a brilliant shot to make the claim for the retake. No kit on either player, but again, extra time to work with as Tabson has to try and hold against 2, and they face together and only picks up a 2nd kill.
Really would have liked it if he went out to the platform there. That kind of plan means you can actually have full vision of the bomb from the platform, and then you've at least got like a window to hide behind. When you commit yourself to the long wall like that, where are you going? Like, he definitely had time to just run back onto the platform, and he opted to stand in the open. A little bit disappointing that for Penta. I'm not saying he would have won the round like that, but he would have had a much better chance of staying alive and delaying the defuse at least. And there's a replay on the screen right now of how the round did fall in Space Soldier's favour. Round number 2, let's see what happens. Oh, interesting though. Penta have actually force-bought into this quite convincingly. 2 AK-47s, 3 pistols. So the idea is those guys buy themselves armor, then they get dropped AKs from the bomb plant. Can be very viable, especially against SMGs, and that's not going to help David P. Does do a decent amount of damage to Tugux, but loses the battle in the end. Brings down to the 5-on-4.
Yeah, this is super aggressive from Penta so far. They recover that AK, that's important. That double nade almost did enough damage to claim the kill before it even arrived. It was 70 HP on the face, but Tossin now is going to try and do damage against Xanteras, who wants information and manages to get away alive, which is the surprising part of that whole peak. They're going to work long again. The Deagle in the hands of Mike gives him some range, and the 2 AKs to complement that, but one of them dropped low on HP already. Tabson, even with the loss of HP, is still able to take down Desp, and they've used a single smoke to try and slow Tossin down, which means the 3 players at long back off. They want the timing of the team to be together and not skewed. Mike's going to hug the wall. It's an easy way to climb forward and toward the site because it forces such a wide peek from those on the platform, but timing is everything. Tossin peeks out from Catwalk, and suddenly Penta, with this early buy, give themselves a great chance.
Yeah, 4-on-2 right now. Retakes will be very difficult indeed. You can see Xanteras only has the MP7 in hand. Will they be going for this? It looks like they've got a fancy here. If they can find a couple of frags quickly, then it definitely becomes viable, but that flashbang's going to actually be pretty decent for the barrels. Tossin does spot it, and he should have a couple of frags here. Unable to find the second one. It's going to be only remaining. And he does get taken down there. So the force by working out, even after losing that first frag, they somehow pull it back. And a little bit of luck with the timing, I'd say, coming in from short and finding both players kind of caught their pants down a little bit. But of course, Space Soldiers will be forced buying themselves back into this as well. They've gone for 2 scouts though. So scouts, Desert Eagles, 5.7s. Those scouts need to do some serious work here. They're going to have a chance of taking this round. What do you think?
I mean, that's a really aggressive play from Penta, and it works out. That's the 2nd time in 2 maps that they've picked up that 2nd round, so keep in mind, Space Soldiers, that's twice they've failed to capitalize on what could have been 3 rounds for them to get things started. And remember, last game, they lost it by 2. So this could be a similar situation here where Penta have just done enough early to give themselves a free kick, and Tossin, already realizing that Xanteras got very aggressive in toward those tunnels, is just going to sit and not overcommit to that peak. Wait and see if he's going to show his face a 2nd time. Xanteras naturally is too wise for that. But in not showing his face at the tunnels, he's gone back over to mid to support only, and the flashbang through. It looked like Penta more poised to attack. Instead, they'll be more calculated, knowing that An advantage gained is easily lost if not smarting in the next round.
A lot of damage taken so far. No one really committing as of yet. You can see the Penta side are aware of the damage they've inflicted and just trying to capitalize on it now. Oh, that's such a nice shot there from Tarsin. Takes down one of the scout players. That's going to be only this. Smoke or CT spawn, and now the pincer onto the bomb site. Should be very easy indeed. You can see it's just Stantera's there. Powering on the bomb site. Somehow gets a kill out of it. I have no idea how he's managed to do that. He may even get away with 2. Actually, will get taken down in the end. That's the round secure, but got a bit scary there at one point.
Stantera's tried to sneak back out the tunnels and escape as well, but get caught in the act. And it was a close round. Desp spots one crossing the window, but doesn't fire. And now they'll fall back. A small save, but it does give them more to work with in the next round. The 5-7 plus the armor, and the scout as well for Desp. And Penta will take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you would assume it's going to be a full eco coming in from Space Soldiers next round as well. Nice little platform Penta have created themselves after the Force Buy in the second round. It's an old 1.6 strap. It's Fnatic who really started that. Get a couple of kills in the pistol and get the bomb down. And then all of a sudden you have a very viable buy. Especially in CSGO, it actually works a lot better because SMGs very prevalent in the second round. If the CTs do go for a SMG heavy buy, can find themselves. And they're kind of, the idea is, right, as soon as you get the bomb down a pistol, they're expecting you to buy up in the third round, not the second. So they would be getting the SMGs out, maybe trying to deal with those players, rack up some money there. So if you surprise them with a couple of AKs on that second, maybe can catch them by surprise. But here we go then, round number 4, as I said. Pretty much a full eco coming in for Space Soldiers. Desp did save the scout. But this should be a pretty simple procedure for the German/Belgium/Netherlands side.
European side.
No, it's not as fun.
Sorry then, Henry. Shots rain down from cat to lower. And it's actually given the benefit of the doubt towards Space Soldiers right now as they've taken both Mike and Crystal extremely low with long-range dinks from the armor. That damage reduction from distance, not able to kill them off, but it's something to work with. Tujix also took a bit of damage, though. He's down to 33 himself. A full save from the CT side.
Yeah. Tujix taking quite a lot of damage there, but so has Mike S. and Crystal, in fact. So got something to work with here, the CTs at least. Can find a frag now, that'd be great. Just haven't got any utility to actually flash and face any positions here. So Tabson's going to be making his way up towards long. See if we can get any intel for his team here. You can see Mike S, he's the damage player. Maybe able to find a head here of Tugux. Oh, just narrowly missing out. There it is. And actually gets a kill as well, making a double. Nice play from him.
Very well done by Mike to just sit and be patient. Crystal's going to follow that up. Engine goes down, and Space Soldiers were desperate to get information, knowing that with the pistols, if they could get the jump on the opposition, it would be hugely beneficial, but that does not pan out whatsoever. Bomb planted. David, he goes back to mid to cut off the CTs, not give them a chance to get close to any sort of objective. There won't even be exit kills in this situation because Tabson's there and on the scene very quickly.
I'm not sure how the money's going to be for CTs right now. I don't think it's going to be great. Yeah, it's about, well, 3,900 average across the board, so the buy is going to be very weak indeed. They've got 5 rifles, 1 FAMAS, no kits, and not a lot in terms of actual utility here. Xanteras, I think he was thinking about getting the kit, but went for body armor instead. So, once again, look at this B spawn though Penta have got. I would just take this all day long. You know the money's not great. Just get in there. They won't have incendiaries. That's normally the key factor when you're doing a B rush. If they check one of those in, you're absolutely done. I'd just say do the B rush straight away. Let's get in. Yeah, let's do it.
Tabson with that smoke, that bounce off the arch. That's one of my favorite smokes because it covers off the entire back of the site. And look at the movement that it's created for Tabson because all he has to do at that point is check the closet on the way through, and he gets full control of the wall, as we just saw there. Des makes a good kill and tossing toward mid, but it's too little too late almost at this point. 3 versus 3 retake. And it's so hard to get back inside this B site. More so with Tabson putting out a Molotov. That's going to buy even greater time at that window.
They still have a smoke as well to play with. Mike S is waiting for that to drop, and then he will get his one on there as well. There it is. Nice play from him. Great awareness. And now it's going to bring it out to a 3-on-1.
Yeah, that last gun's already committed as well. Tujix inside the site, so that unfortunate situation of not being able to get up all the utilities, it's gone as well. They're back to pistols, and Penta's looking very good so far on this T side.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, as soon as you see that spawn and you know the CT money's like pretty low, you know they're not going to have incendiaries, you know they're not going to have orbs. Those are the 2 B rush killers, right? And all they can really do is potentially throw a smoke, and even that smoke won't bloom in time. So it's actually quite cool to say, right, we've got this really good spawn, let's keep it simple, get in there. And like I said, they had a very nice execution. Molotov's going to the back of the site, actually got a kill from that as well. But the scout comes in somehow. Only does take down Tabson, drops the bomb as well.
No, bomb was dropped intentionally.
Oh, okay.
Only actually took him down in suicide. It was a fast drop to try and get mid control.
Thought he was scouting towards mid, but there we go. Kill should be returned here by David. Takes down Des, brings back to the 4-on-4, and Xantera is trying to sneak into T-spawn, but...
And what Space Soldiers are doing right now with these pistols is just trying to take the fight to the opposition to get these choke points well held and get information early, but they're being read. Penta catches out 2 very easy kills in that case. David over at long and the second one at B. Tugux is going to try the same approach up middle, but at this point, if he doesn't get a kill, the round's gone.
I think you're right there. Well, 3 players remaining. Engine has got a decent position with the Desert Eagle, and that's an even better one. Tugux somehow gets to the top of middle with the bomb as well. It's a great distraction for Engine as well. Should have capitalized there. Doesn't find a kill somehow. Crazy how he didn't even find one there, but David saves the day for the terrorists potentially there. As we've got Tugux collecting the Galil. He's stuck in suicide, flashed off, and now that should be the round over. As we said that though, scout kill 4 only comes in. That's his second one of the round as well. And now he's got to work out how he's going to approach his round. No kit, no real idea of what's going on.
This is all right, though, because watch the peek from Tossin. It's going to be faced, only spotted, though, and Tossin gets it. If Engine had been able to pick up one of those kills...
Just one.
That could have been easy.
Like, that was actually the perfect distraction as well. All the T's are looking towards T-spawn. He didn't even have to fire at that stage. He could have run out and actually taken both of them down with him, but wasn't meant to be, apparently. That's the shot on screen right now I missed at the start. It was towards the top middle with the scout, the opening one. So... Penta looking very strong so far. 5-1 in their favour again after losing the pistol. Bounce back in the second round. And this time, though, the CTs have got a nice healthy buy. Des with the AWP as well. It's going to be a long face from Mike S. Unable to make it work for himself, though. Double orb setup coming in from Penta. And there were 3 players from the CT side towards long. And smoked up that key area now. David has been pretty effective at getting picks in this area. Can he continue the good run?
David blinded, though. That's an unfortunate timing event for him as Tugux holds on to this long position. This will anchor their A defense because they can leave him there now. He cuts off the long. That limits the options from Cat. And as we know, with this setup, and the op toward Cart, it's one of the most powerful defensive plays you can have on the CT side on Dust 2. Crystal's managed to find some space toward long. That might open something up because if he gets even one pick over toward B, it'll cut off rotations at the very least, and that's why they're throwing out the left smoke. He wants to focus on Carr instead, so he'll support his catwalk players from a distance, but the problem is if they don't counter this push, if they don't watch out for Xantera's coming down, that smoke's going to dissolve. They are trying to put themselves in a good position to read that he's going to push forward, but as they run back, he spots at least one. It's a great trade from Tossin, but that's information gathered. And with Engine taking down Tabson on catwalk, it's down to just 2 attackers left and not a lot of real estate to work with.
2 orbs as well. It's a very difficult situation. They managed to throw one away. Carlson gets the AK-47. They have got a decent chance to get into the B bomb site here. So he could be only there with the M4 in hand. He needs to find at least 1 kill here. Otherwise, he's going to make the round actually pretty questionable. He's actually hidden very nicely there, and that's a kill from Tugux. What are you aiming at?
It was a bit of a whiff to start things off there. I was concerned for a moment.
Well, he rectified his mistake. But Penta, after losing that round, I don't think they should keep the double orb set up. It can be useful on the T side of Dust 2, but we saw in those sort of situations. As soon as it comes down to a little bit of a high-pressure moment, they're probably the worst weapons you can have when you're trying to enter bomb sites. So let's see where they recover this one. It's going to be Crystal back on the AWP. Marquez gone back to his AK-47. Crystal has got that long spawn as well. After seeing CT players there last round, this is actually a very good idea. Orb is much better at these kind of picks, and the AK has been flashed. Goes for the blind shot. Doesn't happen. Takes some nade damage in the process as well. Desp, on the other hand, has made his way to lower B. He's looking for the first pick here. This is actually predicted by Penta. They're waiting for the flashbang to come in. Really nice play from them.
Very nice play. Tossin takes down Desp. That's one of the spots that Steele's often talked about. May he rest in peace. Pre-checking that every time you go to lower tunnels just to clear up mid. Make sure your catwalk players have the freedom of movement to try and come down in that smoke again. We're going to see this give Xantera's the option to cross back over, but Crystal's there waiting if he tries to even go for the late peek toward catwalk. And Penta's playing rather smart after getting the opening pick. I imagine they're going to try to sell out a dummy here right now on the A site. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a drop strategy as That smoke rather is already in place for CT spawn. Engine's watching it. Tabson's yet to go. Xanteras is going to get caught in the middle of a crossfire, but flashes himself out brilliantly and only finds one. But that's all there is there. The second player is already retreated back to the tunnel, so they want a second approach onto the B site, which has been given up. And with Tabson now dropping down late, cutting off Engine, there's a chance for the bomb to cross because the CTs are a bit confused and still have to contend with at least one player behind, which they've since done. But Mike, in a great spot, has Tossin to cover the window. A late push, though, from Tugux inside the tunnels, and David P was not in a position to cover the doorway, only manages to come back around and take down Tossin, but the bomb was denied until very late. And now Tossin has to try and hold on. 1-on-2, players coming from either side. Great peek on Tugux, caught entirely off guard, and it's just Engine remaining. They know exactly where each other are, and the HP, well, it heavily favors Engine, but one headshot would do it. It's not to be found. And the round to Space Soldiers.
That was so tense. It just felt like every second it was changing in the other favor, but Engine held his nerve, and like I said, he did have a heavy advantage going into that one with having 100 HP, well, against 9. Tossin did everything he could, but it wasn't enough. He's currently on 10 frags himself, so strong game from him so far, but that's huge for Space Soldiers to win. Would have been in a very difficult situation in terms of the money. And you can see they've actually reversed their fortune a little bit. Now Penta are the ones who are struggling for cash. 3 players on above 3,700. 2 guys on 6k. AWP would have to be dropped at this stage by David. And now Space Soldiers can finally get some rounds put together after winning the pistol. They had a huge deficit, went down to 5-1. Now are bouncing back a little bit, 2 rounds on the bounce as we enter round number 9 now. We are in a pause. And I assume it's technical after winning.
Yeah, what's the problem? Is what
just won a round, so I'd assume it's technical.
Admin's asking, yeah. Someone timed out in TeamSpeak. Poor old TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak, yeah. I've confused that abbreviation before. I was telling you that story last night.
Yeah, it's understandable coming from the gaming community, but it does have a very different meaning, Henry.
If you see that term on Tinder, stay away, or unless you're that way inclined, go for it. I made a horrible mistake.
Oh, God, we've gone there. Either way, we had a... I just said that, producer. Maybe if you listen to me, you just hire us to be a talking head. I'm sorry. I am working. It's okay. They can only hear one half of this conversation, and now I'm a crazy person talking to myself. That's a lose-lose situation, Henry.
Well, I don't think it's changed his opinion.
All right, that's
of
fair.
you by anyone else. He probably had that already.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, so it is going to be sitting back right now. Penta, having lost 2 rounds consecutively, they're in a bit of an awkward position because they could force out with a drop from David P. But what would you do in this situation, Henry?
What would I do? Okay, so you're 5-3 up. You definitely buy this round. Like, you can get, if you don't even want the AWP, you can get 5 AKs for sure. So, well, actually, wait, you can't. Let's have a look at this properly. 3,600, 3,600. Do you have Galils and AKs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it's a real tough one. It's lucky they get this pause, actually, because it's kind of a difficult situation. I would say take a Quasi maybe with Tech 9s and take body armor as well, get some smoke grenades and flashes, make it expensive for the CTs, get a bomb down potentially, then come back with a nice full buy. But definitely viable to get the Galils as well. It's going to come down to preference of the caller and what he feels comfortable doing. If you are going to buy this sort of round, you need to have, I'd say, more of a set piece going on. Want to go for a B split maybe. Have some solid execution going down, but I'm sure we'll be back in very shortly. The TeamSpeak issue should be relatively easy to fix, I hope.
Hopefully so. Communication obviously is an important aspect to the game, so we'll allow this. I'll allow it, Henry.
You'll allow it? Well, what are you going to do? Go to the server room and force the start?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Let's talk about the studio.
Okay.
Are we allowed to talk about the studio, or are we like spoiling something if we did?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking the producer. But I think it's going to be awesome when people see it for the LAN.
Yeah, so this is a new location, right?
Facility. Shh, it's secret. It's secret. We're not allowed.
Okay.
We might have spoiled things already.
Spoiler alert. There is a building. That's as much we're allowed to say.
Yeah. May or may not be.
The event will take place in a building.
It's true. The same time last year, exact same dates, an event took place in a tent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. X Games, Henry.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
The start of my career.
That's what began this whole mess.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Either way, I've not got much else to talk about.
Okay, well, I can talk about some if you want.
You can.
Right, so Space Soldiers, they've won 2 rounds in a row. They've picked up an AWP. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, they could drop another one if they wanted to. Double AWP setup is, in my opinion, the best and strongest setup you can have on the CT side of B2. Yeah. I feel like it's the most versatile. It means you can have very strong defenses on either side of the map. It means you can have one aggressive AWP as well, being boosted around, pushing into certain positions, and just generally having fun. Let's see how they will approach the situation. Xanterra isn't only yet to buy. Xanterra's probably won't be AWPing, maybe only have a go. Let's see how it goes down. I'd assume just looking at that money right now is probably not worth the double AWP just yet. Need to win a couple more rounds with players staying alive. And looking over towards Penta, they will be buying into this round, Matt. So we can see Micas has purchased AK-47 and armor. So's David. He's purchased armor. So they definitely will be buying this round. Maybe the strongest buy, that's for sure. Galil and armor for Crystal and Tabson.
David's got the availability with the armor already bought to drop.
Judging by what Micas has remaining, he only has 2 flashbangs. I think he's dropped a gun. I think he had like 6k.
No, he had negative 35.
You're right.
Right there, negative 37.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because the other 2 were the ones that are stronger. 5,300, 4,900.
If David were to drop, I don't know if he did, it might get more utilities up for his teammates. Is the only thing.
I'm sure all will be revealed momentarily.
Well, all will be revealed momentarily, Henry. But it's interesting to think about this aspect of it. And Space Soldiers, this is a great opportunity for them because now knowing that it's a force buy for Penta, if they're able to pick up this round, bring it back to 5-4, break the economy of Penta, they're right back in the game. Remember, this is the second map in a row. They started with the opening pistol, which gives you a huge economic advantage that was thrown away. And it came on the back of a really aggressive play from Penta where they got a bomb plant. They went for 2 AK-47s in round 2. It's not often we see that.
It's not. Like, it was a tactic that was very prevalent in 1.6. We don't see it so much in CSGO, but in the right circumstances, it's definitely very viable. You have players that are feeling confident and want to take the helm and have a go at the AKs. Absolutely. I think especially on Dust 2 as well, it's very spawn-based map. You get a spawn towards long, for example. Obviously, what David P did get, but didn't actually get the kill. He got taken down there. They still won the round. But let's see. Hopefully this issue will be sorted very soon. What time is it now? We got it's just coming past midnight in Romania. Potentially got another map to go. This is our favourite. We miss these kind of slogs of cast, don't we?
Yeah, you remember when we did North American stuff for the PGL last year?
What, finishing at 8 in the morning?
That was brilliant. It was brilliant.
That was pretty cool.
Couldn't get in trouble all night if we got home at 8 in the morning.
That's true, actually. It kept us out of trouble.
Yep.
This sort of schedule, when we finished at midnight, there's still a huge window for trouble, as I found out.
Have you just revealed too much, Henry?
I think it's just too late now. I'm probably going to write it all down in memoirs one day, like all of the debauchery has happened in our...
Please exclude me from all of it.
No, I think you're... I'll just put you under a different name. It'll just be Mr. X. See if anyone can work it out. Who's this guy he casted with every event? Wow, it sounds really...
Yeah, I wonder who that could have been. Let's look it up in the history of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, one day. I will write it all up and I'll publish the book. So
I want nothing to do with it.
Any publishers out there?
I want royalties.
You can have some.
For defamation of character.
You'll be dead by then, don't worry.
Probably. Either way, guys, we got a game coming back, and here we go. They did actually, okay, so never mind the drop from David P. It is going to be a drop, but it's not a 2-rifle drop. It's an AWP they put on Crystal. So they're going really aggressive right now, and that puts Crystal in a glass cannon position because he buys utilities instead.
Oh.
But it pays off. Despa already gone. That's your AWP on the other side. Impressive stuff, and now a nade. Minor damage onto David, but the stack is going to add to that. 62 left, and they want this long position. I mean, if that works, that David drops over and up, and this is how they pick up a round that Space Soldiers, if they win, take control of that half. That's pretty remarkable.
Pretty nuts stuff so far. 5-4. CTs normally have to react in these sort of situations. Pushing into B tunnels with flashbangs, trying to gain control of just to get intel at least to find out where the Ts are going. But so far, they're going to be very passive and just sit back. 5-4. No one really committing to anything just yet. You can see 3 players with the Ts outside the long doors. They've got smokes and flashbangs. Could take that position if they wanted to. Just 2 Gugs waiting there as well. If they went man for man, it could be a really good exchange opportunity for them. Just being held off by the Molotov right now.
David still wants to get out long. They've got it open to them right now, in fact, because 2Gugs has just shifted his position back down toward the car. Gun switch due to the HP.
Smoke to the corner, takes away vision from a potential AWP on the site. And now 2Gugs has got his work cut out for him. Jumps up on the sidewalk there just to try and look over that smoke. It's going to be really difficult frags for him now, though. And it's got that wind. That smoke actually helps him out a little bit if he wanted to retreat.
I was going to bring up a point earlier about a smoke that I've seen used very well in this position, accidentally, of course. But Tabson's going to take down 2Gugs. Xanteras gets back into Toss, and this starts to even things up. In fact, pulls it back in the favor because Xanteras comes back around now and catches off Crystal. That's the opt down. And the situation is simple. If Space Soldiers, and they do, pick up this round, it's going to be a save no matter what for Penta. There's a smoke you can do at long that lands on the stairwell right in front of the corner. It was accidentally done by Relics, I believe.
I saw it.
Yeah, and it leaves the gap underneath that you can see from the door.
It was definitely accidental, but
if you could reproduce that.
Yeah, I don't think that can be replicated. Well, at least I saw on the thread at the time no one had done it.
Someone did with the jump script, which I don't condone.
Well, there we go. No, I don't condone them either. I think they're a little bit of... It's not in the spirit of the game.
I mean, obviously, if he did it by accident, it is reproducible. No one's just found a solution to do so yet.
Well, yeah. Let's see how this round goes down. 5-4 in favor of Penta still, but they are on the pretty much full save here. Got some upgraded pistols. That's about it. Crystal still with the Glock. Has decided to go for a smoke, though, so maybe a B split coming in. Smoke towards CD spawn. Just try and get out middle. See if they can boss a kill there, but looking at the other side of the map, only is pushing to B tunnels. That's the information I was talking about in the last round. Now they're very aware as to what's going on. It's the first frag as well. Only shooting.
Yeah, but doubling that up now, that's a huge problem. Only's got control of lower. They walked all the way through B. Absolutely nothing these pistols could do to try and hold on to map control. As Tabson, he may have made it the quad, but unfortunately for him, he's not the one holding the bomb. So it's not like he can go for a desperate Hail Mary plant. And Xanteras knows he's here. Nades it in. Dunks it off the wall. I was waiting for your... He jams it in, Henry.
Have I ever said that?
Yeah, last night.
I said from way downtown.
Oh, right.
Didn't say jams it in.
Wrong NBA Jam reference. David P. may still get a plant out of this, which is a bit peculiar. In fact, okay, he could have held that and gone for money. Instead, he goes for the peak, and this is not a situation that favors him. If he found the one kill, which he was hoping to do, and hoping that no one else was nearby.
Get the money, dude.
Exactly. I know what his thought process was, but I don't agree with it. At that point, just get the money. The team's desperate for it as it is.
Yeah, that $800 each would have been superb. They would have had a very strong buy indeed. You can see it's a little bit weak. Crystal has got the AWP, but no armor. Potentially could have had that with that plant, but wasn't meant to be. 5-5 now. Space Sword is bouncing back after the 5-1 deficit. Crystal did get the opening frag last time with his orb. Can he replicate it once again? Doesn't actually manage to do any damage there. CTs haven't got an orb. They've gone for a 5 rifle setup here. And showing some aggression towards short this time. It's going to be Engine has been boosted up. Flashed off. Oh, narrowly avoids death there as well. Larson does spot him. There's a little bit of nade damage there, but CT's still keeping aggressive onto short. Get that first kill onto Mike S. Tarson does reply back now. Brings it back to the 4-on-4. Just a flurry of frags across the map. Still equal exchanges. 3 versus 3 now.
Crystal smokes off that lower position, which again is occupied by Space Soldiers, but what he doesn't account for is how aggressive they're being everywhere, and that includes Catwalk, where Tugux comes back out. They're dictating the pace of the game right now, the CTs, and this means that Penta's really forced with decisions on how they want to play it. This fast play from the CTs forces them to slow down and wait for the pushes, which buys time, therefore, for Space Soldiers to sit defensively and force the execute from Penta potentially in the next coming rounds. Bomb's still going to go down this time. Tabson taking that decision that David P did not, so that's an extra $800. But now it's 5 rounds consecutively, which means $800 plus the max loss round bonus. They've been in a great position to buy next round. And they're just going to let this op be picked up, I imagine.
Well, it's just showing how many options you have in the CT side of Dust 2. They're showing this is the full aggressive stance. Like when you're showing so much attention to, like you're gaining so much attention towards short and Catwalk there, we can see Only with some great awareness there. You can hear the shots being exchanged between lower B and short, pushes into the B tunnels, completely pinces the players down there, and actually the round falls apart from Penta. They look a little bit shaken up here. They can't handle the aggression too well. As soon as when it only gets in the lower B, even if he doesn't kill anyone, there's so much intel gathered there that they can actually leave the entire B side of the map open. Once again, they're going to keep the aggression strong as they boost 2 people up towards short again. Only not going straight into the tunnels this time. No.
Balance nade came out against. This time, Tawson's ready for that aggression. Desp's still going to follow this up. Is he going to find the shot, though? Because Tawson's close enough that he'll be beyond the reach of that AWP. And I take it back section my guess, but Desp is finding the frags regardless. He takes Tabson. He takes down Mike S. This is brilliant stuff. The aggression does pay off despite losing the first pick. And that's going to be frustrating for Penta because they would have thought, okay, we finally solved this issue. Let's slow it down. We can dictate the round to us this time. And Xanteras taking down Toss, and it's all falling apart yet again.
4-on-2. Crystal and David P remaining. Yeah, like you said,
I'm
it's going
sorry.
from bad to worse. There's the bomb, guys. You want to have a look at it. Luckily, the smoke is covering it. So it's not the end of the world there, but what do they do here? 57 seconds remaining, so definitely enough time to try and make something work, but this would just have to be a huge blunder.
The goal is going to be take down Xanteras and rush it to B, but that's not going to happen. He takes them both very quickly. I saw the drop smoke. I thought, all right, maybe if they can get the pick on Xanteras and they try and rush it through CT, they might have a chance, but...
Well, I guess I just gave them an option to go out towards middle, try and get the kill in CT spawn, then they're covered at least from any AWPers on crossover or something like that, but there we go. Loads of rounds in a row so far. What is that? 6 in a row for Space Soldiers?
That's actually a good point, because rather than putting the smoke inside CT where there is a slight gap when they walk up the ramp to B, it's covered that way.
It's Penta now. Onto another saves, more the quasi buy. Need to keep your money about 2k mark. They are a maximum loss bonus now, so definitely will have a nice healthy buy next round. Let's see what they can do with this. Going for the long take, just running straight through fire here. Tugux picks up a double. Dawson replies though with a double of his own, and now it's against Engine with 2 more players here. This frag's going to mean everything. And he does actually lose the exchange as well. We have a 2-on-2 situation.
This is a reasonably good round from Penta, considering the situation they were in when this began. This gives Tabson the pickup on the M4. Crystal got the AK to work with. It's 2 versus 2. Only's going to push all the way through B. Try and catch them in their tracks back toward long A.
If he can get outside the long doors and just hold them in there and just isolate them, force them to come its way, that'd be really good. Just so, yeah, like I said, this is actually great because they know that the utilities will be very low for the Ts. So they have to cross now. Once he's got them locked in and those long doors, they have no real option but to actually cross over, and they've got an all-by-doing CT spawns. This is a really good setup from the CTs.
They do have 1 smoke to work with.
There it is. I didn't see that picked up. So they have a smoke. It has to be very well placed, though. Any gaps, and you have to be kind of done for. They need to make sure it's a deep smoke. 1 over the crossover wouldn't be enough at this stage. You need to go quite deep in down to where Desp is.
Well, it's a light throw. It's going to cover it.
Gap.
He's not going to see it, but he times it. Very nearly makes it work. Now Only's got to get into the fold. Bomb's going to go down regardless. Desp cannot take the 1 versus 2 in this situation. He cannot create a double 2-on-1, but Only's going to arrive and catch out Tabson in the open, not expecting his arrival so soon. And Crystal, the round in his hands, has to wait out as much time as he can. He's caught. Crossfire nearly gets arrived, but Crystal's so smart he catches Desp in transition. Having nearly gone down to Only beforehand, it's still redeemed. A nice headshot, and it's another round for Space Soldiers. Make it 7 in a row.
Yeah, very impressive stuff there. Nice awareness from Only. He knew what was going on there. He knew that we'd see Crystal reface that angle. Obviously, when you come in that 1-on-1 situation, the bomb's down, you normally expect the CT to walk up to the side and try and surprise you. Crystal got taken down with the awareness of Only there. This was the beginning of the round. It actually started off with a double kill from Tugux, but then Tarsin comes in and gets a lovely double Tech 9 kill himself. Unable to convert that round into a victory, though, as it came down to the 1-on-1 again. Crystal unable to provide the goods. He has that long spawn once more. It's been a big part of this game. I don't think the picks are going to come in this time, though. There's no CTs waiting for him at all. It's that double boost coming up to short, and actually could be AWPing towards lower B. This could actually work out very nicely. And able to land the shot.
Didn't see it inside that smoke. It could have been absolutely catastrophe for Penta. Catastrophic, rather. Nice Crystal. And it's just 1. Xanteras on the retreat, though, catches Tabson walking in through the doors, and an advantage that was held for more than 4 seconds, if that.
Well, back to a 4-on-4 we go. Nice pick there from Mike S. Just making things happen by himself. There is a CT waiting for him. That's going to be Engine. He capitalizes, bringing it back to a 3-on-3. Crystal set up towards long. Well, the rest of his teammates are on cat, so they have got a decent setup here. CTs are going to have to rotate through CT spawn.
Tossin. Waiting patiently for the rotations to come around from the CTs as the bomb gets planted, and now they will arrive from Catwalk. It's Xanteras and Only together. Quick flash out towards CT ramp. David's not going to be spotted by that. He's waiting behind the box for anyone who dare drop down and try and push on the angle that he has in his grasp. Instead, it's David to take Xanteras first, but Tossin's waiting, and Only has no idea that Goose is still occupied.
Absolutely. We get into the last round now. Penta do get their 6th round on the board. And that's going to help, actually, because they can get the triple AWPs now. Here we go, Map. What do you reckon? They're going to get a kill?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
It should be a round they should win. You look at the money for the CT. He's got a scout and no kits.
They're going to gun juggle as well. They've already got AKs down. Tech 9's down as well.
There we go.
Nothing.
They hit the shot.
Nothing.
Hit 2.
Nothing, but it's not going to hit 3.
They've hit 3 people.
Okay, all right. I predicted a kill. I'm wrong.
That's still pretty good.
You're right.
Not bad. 3 AWPs, 3 tags. I'll take that. Make it 4. Oh no, it's still clear. He's the scout player.
Well, this should be favorsome for Penta, who want to make this to an 8-7 scoreline. Tabson walks through, catches out one, makes it a double as he touches two gucks inside the CT spawn as well, but Zanteres, as always, compensates for some of the damage. Takes Tossin in the act, but Mike, well, now it's left to two very low HP players. That nade, is it going to do enough? No, Zanteres manages to evade it, and also on top of that, did the headshot onto Tabson from a distance. M4, not a kill. Massive damage dealt.
2 players remaining, make it 1. It's going to be Desp, 34 HP and an AWP in hand. This round is over. And Penta, after losing 7 in a row, actually bounce back in the last 2 and get the 8-7 scoreline. Is it going to be enough, though, on the CT half? I'm not so sure. Can't really comment on how good their setups are. Watch this team, especially with this lineup, play before.
Well, it's significantly better than what they had going into the second half on Cobblestone, that's for sure. So improvement nonetheless. I shouldn't say significantly, but they do have the lead. Flash goes through. Desp has to go for it. Last round, no sense saving the gun. Manages at least a pretty no-scope on David P. And a nice shot as well on Crystal, but Tabson's there. He's had enough, and it will be 8-7.
Yeah, quite flashy towards the end there, but not quite enough. Needed 2 more kills. 8-7 is your score after the first half. Space Soldiers in a great position to take the second map. If they do take the pistol, that would help even more. Replaying the screen right now. Tabson just walking through middle. Knows all those players are very low HP. And it's this final play from Desp. Nice second shot here, but not enough. So then, we'll have a look at the buys for Space Soldiers on their T campaign. 4 sets of armor, and only is going to be your utility player. He's got a smoke, 2 flashbangs, and a decoy as well for good measure. Actually, everyone's got a decoy, so let's see where they decide to use those. That could be kind of interesting, as the CTs are going to be boosting up towards short. Just going to be 1 player, though. Normally would send 2 here. He's going to be committing pretty heavily as well. Spot towards the top of the middle. Wants to make that silent USP work, and he does. Takes down Zanteres, but it gets replied straight away by Engine. And back into a 4-on-4.
Desp, perhaps desperate at this point to start the pistol off with a bang. It's down to 4 versus 4. Next kill could be crucial, and that's a brilliant shot. Catching David in the transition as he falls back toward long. The headshot from the USP, and now suddenly they decide, all right, that might be a pick on A. We're going to stalk out through middle, and Tossin's forced back into sight. Smartly takes back Desp, but it's still a 3 versus 3, and Mike S is so low that he instantly goes down to Engine, and this is awkward. Tossin can't find the kill. He's down to 8 HP himself, and it's not going to be enough. Engine's going to do it. It's down to Crystal, 1 versus 3. This will be the second pistol round picked up by Space Soldiers, and this time they need to avoid, should they finish this off, the ensuing eco round. Because remember, that cost them arguably the map on Cobblestone. And there we go. Space Soldiers will put themselves on 9.
So far, Space Soldiers have won most of the pistols here. It's always the second round they seem to drop. Even happened on this map and Cobble. So can they hold on this time? Penta, of course, buying up. These second rounds have been good to them. Going to have Deagles, CZ, Scouts. Crystal trying to save some cash. He's got to keep on $800. Let's see what they can do. Oh, he has got the Scout himself. Interesting, I didn't see that. Big round coming in. Oh, both players taking shots towards each other and both missing. Scout can be very effective on this map indeed. Pretty much viable in every area of the map.
Engine looking for a lucky pop shot through that double door. Does spot up at least 1 player. Mike S on the receiving side. And he's going to retreat to the confines of the B site. The Space Soldiers gathered in middle have the option of both A and B sites at this point. Not a lot of information gathered. Close angle played by Tabson out toward A. Does put him in a position to not only get the damage done from the pistol, but hear any activity that's on the other side of those walls, which will give information to his teammates. So far, it's been quiet, but now 3 players are going to look to walk up catwalk, and Only's going to lead the charge. He's the one with the scout, so even if he doesn't get the kill, there's 2 players poised and ready to walk around the corner and finish off the job just like that. The tag's already done on David. Now the rifles can come to play, but Only's going to follow that up as another shot on David. This guy's going nuts right now with the scout.
Yeah, really, really nice work there. Opens up the A-bomb site completely on his own. We thought the tags would be enough, but he actually gets 2 kills here. CT's now with a difficult decision. Look at the positioning there from Tugux. He's actually in the B tunnels watching for any rotations. Bomb will be planted, and I don't think the CT's are actually going to go for this, you know. They've got a player outside the long doors. It's going to be Tabson, but only got the CZ in hand. Nice work there. Space Soldiers were a very efficient second round here. Much stronger than previous maps.
tabseN now alive versus 4 with an AK that I imagine is coveted. He wants to hold on to, but Desp's going to find him with an MP7 at $600 to his bankroll and a free upgrade to an AK-47.
Absolutely. Say Penta now pretty much on the full eco. It's putting Space Soldiers in a very good position for the second half. Got the decent B spawn, no reason why he wouldn't take it. You know the CTs will buy absolutely nothing on this round. So I would just say get into B, watch middle with the scouts, try and call some numbers. As they cross, they probably won't waste anything with the smoke. 1. Alright, so he's called there's only one player towards B. Still only one player towards B. Just rush, just rush. That's a little inside team out.
Well, Lily tabseN is going to have to play pretty solid from that platform. Unfortunately, Desp wins the duel. Xanterez, he's picked up 2, and it's just a slaughter. There's no one even getting close to the site. David P at least gets 1 into Desp, but doesn't matter. It's now 11 for Space Soldiers. There was no buy. There's nothing forced. They can full rifles and decent utilities this scale. Although I say that, it's not the best utility.
No, it's not.
That second round force still costs
you
them.
force spy so heavily on the second round. You don't get head armor. You don't get kits. Obviously, head armor not a huge
yeah,
deal.
head armor I don't doesn't bother me as much. It's
No,
an AK
sure.
and op, but it's the lack of utility. The 5 smokes is still reasonable, but they're going to have to be sparingly used.
Let's see what they can do with this. 3 players towards long. You haven't shown the same aggression that Space Soldiers were bringing to the table.
Xanterez already out mid for 3. Mike S realizes it late and comes back out. He and David P combine for that kill, and David's angle was all the way back over from CT spawn, so that he did come late, and without that smoke, it effectively costed Xanterez. But only in Desp are going to try and set up a crossfire now, and first pick could be big for them. It's not going to be David P in the open just yet, but Desp does find him as he looked to try and hug that wall and get back up, or at least I thought his intentions would be to do so. He's left in no man's land with a smoke ready for catwalk. So it's back to 4 versus 4 just like that, and all the information gathered by Penta has since dissolved. The one saving grace to that is the fact that tabseN is pushed all the way up by Long Cave and will have heard nothing in all of this, which means the second player in mid, tawson's gone back to help save this B site with Mike.
Yeah, here it comes. Any second now. There's the Molotov.
This is interesting. They checked that fence, anticipating perhaps an off angle, but Mike's closer than that. He's next to the arch itself. They may check that as well.
Oh no, that timing though.
That's very unfortunate.
tawsonN, literally the second they walked in, he decided to go check towards mid. That's an absolute nightmare. Had he have been there, he would have taken the attention away from the first player coming in. Mike S would have had a real chance to have a big spray down there, but wasn't meant to be. The random number generator didn't work out for him.
Don't think that was RNG per se.
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to use an analogy.
All right. I appreciate your effort, Henry. As
Because
only
those kind of things, right? Like you watch that back and think, what are the chances of that happening?
Oh no,
Like the second I look away.
Only. Just gonna try and find out exactly where these last 2 guns are hiding, because it would be big if they could knock every gun to the ground right now. They want to get as much of a cushion as they can, as early as they can in this half. And it will be another round for Space Soldiers. Count it to 12, and they actually did get one right at the end. I believe tabseN fell down, so Crystal's the only gun saved.
12 plays 7 now. CT money in a very difficult position.
It'd be interesting to see if they can get an op-out for Crystal next round on the back of this.
Well, it looks like Space Soldiers had a pretty easy ride there. Just walking out middle with the AWP. CTs have no any presence there whatsoever. Looks like maybe another B rush coming in as well.
If I'm Crystal in this round, I'm playing passive. I'm letting the pistols get the information, because if he can keep the armor up and drop over the M4, then he can have an op and a decent buy in the next round. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Right now, the attention is on B. And Crystal, with that only weapon, is way back over towards CT. At this point, losing both members inside the site, Crystal's already running, and that's the smart decision.
I think you're going to be right there. Smokes locking them out of B tunnels as well. Not really sure what the options are for the CTs here. Oh, lovely shot there from Only. Great reactions.
I had an inkling that he was at the top of the stairs. I think he saw him cross over, because he was pretty fixed on the fact that he might be there based on his crosshair position. Pop flash from tabseN, hoping to do any potential damage at all. Manages Tugux, no gun to be grabbed, but now Crystal has to save this. And they're going to be on the hunt. He spots up one, taps away, and manages to take Engine down, but that gives up his position, and he's still got a decent amount of time to try and survive. Xanteras is definitely going to be in range. Goes for the jump, figures out his exact position, baits out Crystal again. That knocks him down to just 11 bullets remaining to take down Xanteras, who's continuing to push, and they'll get him. So there goes the chance for the drop over of the op.
Oh, it's getting to do.
They can still do it, but it's okay. It's going to be glass. Okay.
Dangerous position now for Penta.
They go double op.
Double orb works. So do Space Soldiers, though. Double orbs all round. Seeing this on your screen what happened. Pretty much full B rush coming in. That's a nice shot there from Only. And this is a huge round. If Space Soldiers win this, it's pretty much the game tied up. But let's see what Penta can do. Tarson does get a leg as he crosses over one of the orbs, and it's a nice long take coming in from Space Soldiers. Managing to get out as well with decent flashbangs. So the retake from the CT is about to happen. It's exchange all over the place, but it's a 3-on-3 still. Does work in favor for the terrorists. That makes it even more so. As they're still trying to retake this. Tabson coming in with a spray down there. Gets 2. And now it's the 1v1. Only versus Tarson.
This is impressive that this has come this quickly to a one-on-one. A minute and 20 seconds still to play. Only with 2 kills in the round. And Tarson on 19 HP has the AWP to try and make this work. And the smoke will now deploy. I think that was thrown above the skybox, so down below Tarson's position on CT, but he's got the right angle right now, and Only he's going to be exposed entirely, but Tarson looks away at exactly the wrong moment, and Only, how lucky is he going to get right now, because he can try and go for a plant.
Oh,
he's going to hunt this, actually.
Absolute nightmare in the timing once again.
That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Tarson had that dead to rights, and he had no idea that Only was approaching. 3 kills in the round for him. 14 now for Space Soldiers. 2 to go, and we're back into map 3.
Yeah, I think that's the way this will be going. As Penta now with a very weak buy indeed. Have no real options but to buy up into this one. Can't really allow themselves to get to map point at this stage of the game. Too many rounds to try and hold on to. So we'll be purchasing up the Max 7s, Scouts, M4s and Phalanxes. What can they do with this?
I actually tagged up Crystal. Took him down to 33 on that shot by Desp through the door. So good prediction on the jump, but Engine's now going to approach, playing with a little bit more speed as Space Soldiers. They want to try and open up this A site. No one on the platform. They'll flush it with the Molotov regardless, just to make sure less angles to worry about as they enter. The last one to check as he gets around the corner will be Goose, so he's going to drop out at least one smoke toward long. This gives them a further approach, and I think it's just going to be a cat plant, knowing that no one's even tried to take that position back. Desp can hold it now with the AWP. They don't have long control, and that is hinted by the fact that Desp has to turn and look, but he's going to spot Tarson going up middle completely unaware, and down he goes, and this looks like easy Space Soldiers at this point. There's just so much time bought, and no kits available right now on Penta. They just have to play efficient right now on the T side. Bait them out, make sure they don't go down early. Crystal, that's a big kill for them to gain as they take down Xanteras. It's only to spray through and get Mike S, but it's all of a sudden David P to respond, and it's a good thing Despers at least held his angle, because they will be able to close it on Engine's last frag.
And there we go then. Space Soldiers come 1 round away from taking the second map. Third map will be cash. And I'd say it's very likely indeed that we'll be heading there. Crystal still has money for an AWP here. And once again, it's a very weak buy for the CTs. Max 7s, Famases. At this point, it's not a matter of if Space Soldiers take this map, it's when. What can the CTs bring to the table here? Mike S with the only kits. He's got the Max 7. Looks like Engine's going for the fast play towards B. Getting straight in there, no messing around. And Tarson's got his work cut out for him. He's got 4 very angry terrorists heading towards him. And they're going to punish him as well, taking down the first player there. And then we've got Crystal on 20 HP outside. Do, absolutely nothing, I'm going to say.
Oh, that one tagged up Xanteras, that last no-scope through the smoke. He's down to 16, but they're a man down, a sight lost. Mike's going to get close here. This is a good position for the shotgun to be in. Tuguk's going to spot his shoulder, but Mike pops back out. It's Tabson that beats him to it. Now the shotgun is rendered useless from such a long distance. But the kills are still looking all right. It comes back down to at least 3 versus 2, and it's full committal right now from Penta. As Crystal with 19 HP finds one more, only down. And it's very low HP.